So those are all the dating apps that I use. Hey guys, this is Kritika. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and press the bell button to never miss any of my videos. I post new videos every Tuesday and Saturday. So today's video was so highly requested by a lot of people, and I'm going to show you what I have on my iPhone. Now, I was a little scared to do this video because phones are so personal and I don't know if there's anything embarrassing in there. But I haven't really changed things up in my phone just for the sake of this video. So I'm going to show you what I actually have on my iPhone. So to begin with, this is my iPhone. I have the iPhone 6s in space gray, and I really like black phones as opposed to white phones. So I got this phone 2.5 years ago when the iPhone 6s came out, so it's kind of old, but it actually works really well. Recently I got the battery replaced because my phone was eligible for a free battery replacement, so this phone actually works as good as a new phone. I really wanted to get the iPhone 10, but I've spent so much money on camera equipments and stuff that I can't really justify spending money on an iPhone. So anyway, without further ado, let's just start off with what I have on my iPhone. So I'm going to put my screen over here for you to see. Okay, so this is my lock screen. It's a picture of Halong Bay that I took when I was there earlier this year. If you haven't watched that video, I'll leave a card over here for you to check it out. Okay, so when you unlock my phone, this is what you see. This is the first page, this is the second page, and this is the third page. I totally have 3 pages. The wallpaper is a picture of Amalfi Coast in Italy. I really want to go there, so I made it my wallpaper. Anyway, let's start from page 1. So the first app is Messages, pretty straightforward. I actually prefer iMessage to WhatsApp, and what I really like about it is that you can play games on this app, which is really cool. But sadly, a lot of my friends aren't on iMessage, so I don't really use it that much. But you can also send messages in like a really cool format. I will show you how. So I'm just texting my brother with a screen effect. They have all these different cool screen effects. They've got balloons, confetti. Okay, so I'm gonna send my brother a text saying hello with a lot of confetti. But basically what I really like about iMessage is that you can play games on it, which you can't on WhatsApp. Anyway, the next app is Calendar, pretty straightforward. Then I've got Photos. I actually have a lot of photos. As you can see, I have 15,000 photos, so I should really sort out my photos and do something about it. It's taking up a lot of space on my phone. Next is the camera. So all of these apps are pretty basic actually. They come with the iPhone, so I'm going to go through them really quick. So I've got videos, maps. I don't really use Apple Maps because it's not very accurate in India. Then we've got weather, wallet, notes. So notes is one app that I use a lot. I like noting down anything that comes to my mind, be it inspirational quotes or my to-do list. I have it all on my notes app. Then I've got reminder, pretty straightforward. I have 5 reminders that I have not looked at. But yeah, we will get to that later. Then it's the clock, stock. So all of these apps are actually like the basic iPhone apps that I don't use. So I don't know why I have them on my homepage, but I'm just used to having it this way. Then we've got the health app, which I really like. So it shows you how many steps you've walked and how many stairs you've climbed. Obviously, you need to be holding your phone or have your Apple Watch connected for it to reflect the details. But clearly I haven't really walked enough today. But yeah, I really like using that app. Then I've got my Icici Banking app, which I use a lot. I've got podcasts, so I really enjoy listening to podcasts. I think it's a really productive way to spend your time. So when I'm traveling or when I'm at the gym, I listen to podcasts. So this podcast app is actually only available on iPhone, but you can get this other app, Overcast, which is available I think on Android as well. Yeah, I was just listening to the Tim Ferriss show. So that's another great app to listen to podcasts in. So another app that I have and used to love is Evernote. It's a great app to make notes, but ever since the new iOS came out, the Apple Notes app is actually pretty good, so I just use that now. Next is the Gmail app. So I have 2 email apps. I use one for my personal ID and one for my work ID. Then we've got settings, music. So I don't really have too much music on my phone, but I am subscribed to Apple Music, which is pretty great. The next app I have is YT Studio. This app is great for YouTube creators. It shows you all your analytics and how your videos are performing, and you can access all your comments and everything on this. So it's really convenient, and this is one app I spend a lot of my time on. Also at the bottom I have the call, mail, WhatsApp and Safari. These are the apps that I use the most. Anyway, moving on to page 2 now. So page 2 is where most of my apps are. I don't really like having apps outside, so I put them all together in folders. I haven't really organized this too well if I'm being honest, but I've done the best I could. Anyway, starting off with utilities. So this is also pretty basic. I don't really use this that much. So we've got contacts, calculator, compass, voice memos, dictionary, Genius Scan. So Genius Scan is actually a really great app. I'm sure you probably know about it, and there are a ton of apps that do the same thing, but basically it lets you scan documents and bring them onto your phone in PDF or JPEG format. Next I've got Truecaller, which again, if you didn't know, you can actually find out who's calling you if it's from an unknown number, which is super handy. Then I've got Google Maps, which is a lifesaver. Next I've got this app called Pocket, which is another great app. So it basically lets you save pages that you want to save for later. So I've actually saved a lot of like branding and blogging tips on here. So basically whatever you want to save to refer to later, this app helps you do that. Next, let's check out the social folder. So starting with Instagram, which is my favorite social media platform. This is my Instagram account. If you're not following me, you might want to check it out. So I spend a lot of time on Instagram and I really love this app. Next I've got Twitter. I really enjoy using Twitter, but not too many people I know use it, but I still really enjoy using that app. Then I've got LinkedIn, which I don't really use. Next I've got Pinterest, which is such a great app for all the travel, food, any inspiration that you need. I really love using this app. Then I've got Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Messenger, pretty straightforward. But this app Anchor is actually pretty cool. This is another app for podcasts, but you can actually record live podcasts here, so that's pretty cool. So moving on to page 2 in this folder, I've got the Ads app. This is the Facebook Ads app. It helps you handle all the Facebook ads that you do. Then I've got the Facebook Page app, so this helps you manage your Facebook page. Next I've got Quora, which is great to find answers to questions, and sometimes I just enjoy browsing it just like that. Then I've got Twitch. I don't really use it much, but I have the app. Got Reddit. Again, I don't really use it much anymore, but I still do like the app. I've got Telegram, which is another app like WhatsApp. I don't really use this much as well. I have a lot of apps that I don't use. Next, I've got this app called Time Hop, which is actually a really fun app. So basically, you can connect your social media handles to this, and it'll show you what you were doing on this exact same day a few years ago. So basically 1 year ago, I was at this restaurant called The House having a pina colada and some pineapple and cheese. And 3 years ago, I was actually in Goa at this time. So yeah, I think that app is really fun. Then I've got Musical.ly and Discord, both apps that I don't use, but I just have them. Then I've got Vero, which is this new social media app that came out a while ago, and everyone was getting it, so I got it, but I don't really use it. Next, moving on to music. So like I said, I listen to most of my music on Apple Music, but I've got these other apps as well. So I've got SoundCloud, I've got Shazam. Shazam is a great app for when you're outside and you don't know what music is playing, but you want to find out, so you can just Shazam the song and it'll tell you what song it is, so that's super handy. Then I've got Savan. I don't really use Savan much, but I have like a family subscription for Savan, so that's why I have the app. Then moving on to the news folder. So I don't really enjoy reading the news, so a lot of these apps are not really news apps as such, but they're in this folder. So the first app is Flipboard. I really enjoy this app. So basically how this app works is you can choose your interests and it will make a customized magazine for you and show you articles based on your interests. So I really enjoy using this. Then I've got BuzzFeed, CNN, ET, StumbleUpon, NDTV, BBC and Medium. All of these are great apps, but if I'm being honest, I don't use them much. I used to spend a lot of time on them, but not anymore. Next, coming to the interesting stuff, photography. So a lot of people message and ask me what app I use to edit my pictures. So I actually edit my Instagram pictures on my laptop with Adobe Lightroom Cc, but I just made that switch recently. Earlier I used to edit using Visco, Snapseed and Facetune. So those were the 3 main apps that I use, and I still have those apps on my phone. So I'll quickly take you through all the photography apps that I have on my phone. So the first app is Unum. This is great to plan your feed. So basically, I like to have a cohesive feed, or at least I'm trying to have a cohesive feed. So this helps you put all your pictures and see what looks nice where, and if your feed looks cohesive overall. So basically, this is my current feed, and all these pictures here are pictures that I will be posting over this week. So now you know what my feed is going to look like already. Then I've got this app called Moldiv. I haven't used this app, but I really liked the sound of it, so I downloaded it. Next I've got Spark Post, which is another great Adobe app. So it basically helps you make graphics like the ones you see here, and it's super easy to use. Next I've got Visco. So like I said, I don't really use this app much anymore, but just to give you an example of what this app does, I will show you how to edit a picture on this. So basically they have a ton of filters, and you can also make additional changes to the exposure, contrast, basically anything that you can think of. So some of the filters are pretty cool. So yeah, like you can see, they've got some really nice filters here. So Visco is actually a really good app, I think, if you're starting out on Instagram and don't want to invest on Lightroom. Next I've got Snapseed, which is another great app for editing photos. I still use this sometimes. Next I've got Canva, which is another great app. It's kind of like Adobe Spark Post and helps you create beautiful graphics. Then I've got Cinemagraph, which is not an app that I use at all, but I want to try using it. Then I've got Lightroom Cc. So like I said, I actually edit my pictures on Adobe Lightroom Classic CC on my MacBook, but I do use this app sometimes when I don't have my MacBook. Next I've got Facetune. So I like using this app for a few of its features. One feature I use is the details feature. Another thing that I use is the smoothen feature. So basically if there are parts of the picture that I want to smoothen out, I use the smoothen tool. So those are the only two tools that I use Facetune for. Moving on to videos. So video crop helps you crop your video size. Spark video is sort of like Adobe Spark Post, but for videos. I have no idea what view and splice are. I should probably delete them because I don't use them. Next, moving on to the life folder. I don't know why it's called life. I didn't name it that. I think Apple gave it that name. So anyway, the first app is Amazon. I actually shop a lot on Amazon and I think they always have the best deals. So that's the only shopping app that I have on my phone. Then I've got Book My Show, which is great to book movie tickets and stuff. Then I've got this app called Snap Guide. I used to love this app. Then I've got my period tracker, which helps me track my period. Then I've got the Paytm and the Airtel app, pretty straightforward. Next, moving on to the interesting section, my dating apps. So honestly, I don't really use dating apps that much, but I have been on a few dates through dating apps and I've actually made some friends through dating apps as well. So these are the only 3 dating apps that I have. Of the 3 apps, I think I like Bumble the most, although there aren't that many people on Bumble, but I think I like that. I don't really like Hinge at all. My friend made me download it, but I don't like the app. I've never met anyone through Hinge. Honestly, I don't really use dating apps that much, but if you do use dating apps, I would say just be careful and be smart about it. If you're going out to meet someone, just inform your friends or someone so they know where you are. Anyway, moving on to the food apps. So these are apps that I used to use a lot when I was in Bombay, but now that I'm back home and don't need to order food, I don't use them anymore. But we've got Uber Eats, Zomato, Ola Chef, Swiggy and Fresh Menu, all great apps to order food. The next folder is called Productivity, and this folder does not have any productivity apps. I don't know why it's called that. So I've got the Find iPhone app, other iPhone apps that I don't use. Then we've got Splitwise, which is actually pretty great. So if you're going on a holiday or if you're staying in an apartment with someone and you want to track your expenses and whose share is what, this app is really helpful for that. Then moving on to travel apps. So the first app is Uber. Then I've got Make My Trip. This is where I book most of my hotels and my flights. So between Uber and Ola, I actually prefer Uber. I think it's cheaper as well. But when an Uber is not available, I will book an Ola. Then I've got M Indicator, which I don't need anymore. I used to use this when I was in Bombay, so it gives you the train schedules and everything, which is helpful. Then I've got Airbnb. Then there's this app called Klook, which is pretty cool. So basically this app shows you different tours that are available in a city. Then I've got another app called Eat With. I've never tried using this app, but I read about it somewhere and I wanted to try it out. I don't think it works well in India, so when I'm traveling, maybe I'll try it out. The next app is called Tripit, which someone told me about. I can't believe I went all my life without this app because this app is amazing. So basically you can sync your email and it'll automatically put in all your flight details and your hotel details and everything. So this was really handy when we went to Vietnam. Next, I've got the currency exchange app, which is really useful when you're traveling abroad. The next app is called City Mapper. This is really useful when you're traveling abroad as well, and this app gives you all the details about the local transportation in every place. Next, I've got booking.com, which is also another place where I book my hotels. Next, I've got this app called Maps.me, which is actually really useful. So when we were traveling in Vietnam, there were places where we didn't have any internet. So what this app does is it helps you download maps offline so you can use them without internet. So this app is really a savior in those situations. Next, I've got Tripadvisor, which is where I check for reviews and stuff. Then I've got Travel Libro. It's an app that I haven't used. I wanted to check it out, but I haven't tried it yet. And then we've got iTranslate, really handy for when you're abroad and you can't really communicate in the local language. Then moving on to the next folder, which is called Positivity. So the first app is Headspace, which is one of my favorite apps. It's a great meditation app. It gives you guided meditations. The first 10 meditations are free, and then after that you have to pay for the app. Then we've got ZenFriend, which is also another great meditation app. So most of these are actually meditation app. And the last app is the Secret to Money app. I think this was a paid app. I don't really use this much anymore, but they have like daily affirmations and stuff, and it's quite a nice app. Then moving on to games. So I don't play games at all on my phone anymore. I used to be obsessed with playing games, but I still have a few games. I don't really play them. The first one I was obsessed with for the longest time, HQ. So for those of you who don't know, HQ is a live quiz app where you can actually win money. I never won any money on it, but it was really addictive app. I still have it, but I don't really play on it anymore. Next, I've got Heads Up, which is a really fun app by Ellen DeGeneres. This is a really fun game, so I would definitely recommend checking it out. Then I've got Shithead, which is a card game. The next 3 apps, 2015 2048, the lines and cubes are all by this company called Ketchup, and they have really fun, simple games, and I really enjoy their games. I've actually tried most of their games. These are some of my favorites, so I've kept them. Then we've got Words Crush, Quiz Up and Yahtzee, all fun games as well. Now moving on to page 2, we've got 2 Indian ripoffs of HQ. So there's IQ Live, which is exactly like HQ, and also Brainbazi, which is also like HQ. The next folder is for my Apple Watch, so this is just how I control my Apple Watch. Then I've got an app for stories. These apps help make your stories look nicer. My favorite of these is Unfold. So you can make stories like this one that you see here. Next I've got the blogging folder. So I've got my WordPress app where I can check my analytics for my blog and stuff like that. Then I've got the Google Analytics again to check my analytics for my blog. The other apps I don't really use too much except for Skillshare. Skillshare is actually a great app, so you can get on this app and learn new skills. So whenever I have free time, I just try to get on Skillshare and learn something new. The last folder is entertainment, where I've got Netflix and Prime Video. Now moving on to the last page, I've just got 5 apps over here. The first one is the Canon app. So this helps me connect my Canon G7X to my phone, and I can also transfer pictures through this. Then I've got the app for my GoPro, which does the same thing but for a GoPro. Then I've got the DJI app. I don't think I've announced this, but I got a drone recently, so this app basically connects with my drone. Next I've got the Kindle app. So I actually have the Kindle Paperwhite backlit one, but sometimes when I don't have my Kindle with me, I'll just read on my phone, so I've got the Kindle app as well. And the last one is not really an app, it's just a link to my blog. So yeah, if you haven't checked out my blog, you can go check it out. So there you go, that's all the things I have on my iPhone. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you found a few new apps to check out. Also, starting today, I'm going to be doing shoutouts in all my videos. So today's shoutout goes to Frugal Fun. This girl has been liking and commenting on my pictures for a really long time. She also leaves really genuine comments on my videos, and I really appreciate that kind of support, so thank you so much. If you want to get a shoutout, just be sure to like my photos, comment on my photos, retweet, all that stuff, and you will get a shoutout. Thanks so much for watching my videos. Click here to watch another video of mine, and click here to subscribe to my channel. Also press the bell button to never miss any of my videos. I'll see you next time. Bye.